Hey guys, this is take 3. My brain is not braining today. I hope you guys are having a good day. I thank you for the prayers. I made a post about 2 days ago saying that I've been under some pretty heavy spiritual attacks in my personal life. And it doesn't help with the mockers and scoffers online, but it's getting personal. The devil's trying to come after things that I care about. But, you know, I even straight up said the other day, like, I belong to the Lord. So, I wanted to read this verse. I'm in Numbers 23:19. God is not human that he should lie, not a human being that he should change his mind. Does he speak and then not act? Does he promise and not fulfill? I was in Numbers yesterday, and I highlighted this verse, but in the times that I'm having right now, I just got to remember to really sit still and think, like, when I have these feelings of anger or frustration, I got to remember that the Holy Spirit has a completely different plan, and that I just need to be still in the Lord and trust in him with my entire heart, soul, and mind. There are some things I wanted to talk about. I didn't plan on making a video today, but I really think that me making this video is going to help me and encourage me and keep going, because I do want to share these points with you. I don't think it's for me to keep to myself, and I'm sure a lot of you guys are already aware of a lot of these points I'm about to make, but so the first point I have, and I'm on my iPad right now, I wanted to show you guys something later on in this video, but I need to connect to my hotspot. I'm not very tech savvy. Can you believe that? But the first point I wanted to make is those that are arguing about dreams that believers are having right now, they are not having dreams themselves. And I don't know if you guys have noticed that lately, that all the people who are coming on here and disregarding the pre-tribulation rapture, they are not having dreams themselves. They just want to sit here and, you know, say, no. And that's okay. They can say whatever they want to say. But just know that those of us who are having dreams, we know that we're hearing from the Lord. And yes, go and, you know, ask for discernment. Every dream that I've had regarding the rapture, I'm still asking for confirmation on it. Sorry, my voice is kind of going out, and okay, there we go. But nonetheless, they're not having those dreams, so they can't say for fact. I think God is pouring his spirit on all flesh. It's not a coincidence that so many people are having these dreams right now. We are seeing the birthing pains get closer and closer together. We are seeing these things unfold as we speak. Everything going on in the world. It is not coincidence. And speaking of dreams, I wanted to share a dream that my friend Alan had. I actually met Alan through a close friend at work, and he invited me out to a prayer group, and we've been kind of chatting since about, you know, dreams and the tribulation and the rapture. So I'm just going to read the text message. I got the text message pulled up here. He said, I've been asking for dreams, especially rapture and confirmation dreams. Had a dream last night. Long story short, the guy I was talking to said, they told us we didn't know when or the day, but we knew. We knew the whole time. I said, you mean the September 23rd thing? He said, absolutely, you know it, and woke me up from the dream at about 3:47. I thought that was an amazing confirmation dream. I mean, that is like right on, like the date and everything. And yes, the Feast of Trumpets does span over a couple days, which is why we technically still don't know the day or the hour. But for those of us who have been kind of watching the Feast of Trumpets, we know that the idiom for that is that of that day and hour nobody knows, since the moon does have to be witnessed. I think it's at like 2% or something, but the new moon has to be spotted by 2 witnesses. So it could happen, you know, on the 23rd, 24th. Heck, I don't even know, the 21st maybe. I don't necessarily know what time it starts. As far as the birthing pains go, I thought this was very fascinating, and I'm sure some of you have heard of it. If not, I love to cover it because there's not much that you can find right now about it. But Bill Gates has created a digital tattoo to replace cell phones. I don't know if this is going to be replacing the wallet, but it might be. And, you know, a lot of people have been saying that the mark of the beast will be a tattoo. I still believe it's going to be Neuralink. People have already been getting Neuralink. People are using it to tap to pay at the grocery store. People are using it to unlock things at their house. And I wanted to show you something really fascinating. And I'm kind of glad this is on take 3 because I couldn't get my iPad to connect to my phone to pull up the internet. Let me just show you that I am entering this correctly. So, if you can see it there, I got Neuralink typed in. I'm gonna hit submit, right? And that's the Greek translation. Look at those numbers that pop up. I am in the Greek calculator. That's no coincidence, guys. That is no coincidence. What is the number of the beast? 666. And look, as far down as you can go. Oh, if it'll let me go. 666. Wake up, guys. Wake up. People may say it's just technology. No, it's not. It's not. Right now it is. It is going to be used as a form of control later. I just thought that was interesting that Bill Gates created that tattoo. One of the points that I mentioned in my first video was the Great Deception, and how I believe that the deception will be with the three-eye atlas or UFOs, something of the sort. It's just kind of ironic in the timing that the three-eye atlas is coming so close to Earth around, what, November? October, November? Kind of fascinating, the timing of that. One of the things I wanted to mention is I said it would be the Great Deception. That's not what I meant to say. I do believe it is going to be a deception. I believe the Great Deception is going to be the abomination of desolation, when the Antichrist sits up in the kingdom of God claiming to be God himself. However, I do believe there are going to be huge deceptions prior to that. And I believe that they're going to say UFOs were the reason that all the church members are gone. That the rapture was an abduction. One of the things I wanted to point out about the rapture, these points were made throughout the Old Testament, and I just wanted to briefly mention them. And I've seen a couple people regarding Noah and his story about God allowing the faithful to escape. So Noah was the only righteous man found. So him and his immediate family were able to get on the ark and escape the flood. Lot and his wife escaped Sodom and Gomorrah before its destruction, since Lot was faithful. God didn't go and completely destroy Sodom and Gomorrah with righteous people in it. You know, we see in the Bible where it says, well, find me 50 righteous men. Will you spare the city? And God says, yes, I'll spare the city if there's 50 righteous. What about 10? What about 5? I don't know if it goes down to 5. But he essentially was saying, if there's 10 righteous people, I'll spare the city. And they weren't found. But Lot and his wife were able to escape because they were faithful. But Lot's wife turned into a pillar of salt for looking back, disregarding God's commands. And scientists have actually found proof of that pillar of salt. I don't know if you've seen that. But I guess they had found biotraces of human DNA in it. Pretty amazing. And they said that it was actually on the route that Lot and his wife were supposedly taking to escape Sodom and Gomorrah. And then we have the exodus of the Israelites, and the deliverance for God's people in bondage. It says in the Bible that in the last days it will be as it was in the days of Noah. So it will be for the coming of man. For people in the days of Noah, they were eating, drinking, marrying, giving in marriage. Up to the day Noah entered the ark. And I highlighted that. And they knew nothing until the flood came. So here's the thing. When the rapture does take place, are people going to continue to eat, drink, marry, be given in marriage? I don't think so. I think we're seeing a symbolic reference to the rapture. And, like, this is just me spitballing this idea. But when I look at the story of Noah getting on the ark, I think of us as a church getting on the ark and escaping before God's wrath comes down like Sodom and Gomorrah. I believe that He's going to allow the faithful to escape. Because, like I said, just as we see with Sodom and Gomorrah, He allowed Lot and his wife to escape. That was just 2 people. So if He was waiting for 2 people to be able to escape to destroy Sodom and Gomorrah, who says that He's not going to let us escape? Why would the church right now have to go through the tribulation period if God would allow Noah to escape with his family, if He would allow Lot and his wife to escape with his family, if He would allow the Israelites to escape from bondage? It just doesn't make sense when you think about it in that point of being a post-tribulation rapture. It doesn't. And, you know, I didn't have much to talk about, but these are some pretty neat points to talk about. I think every day that goes by, I am just patiently waiting and watching. I believe Jesus is going to come and fulfill the autumn feasts, just as we saw Him do with the spring feasts. There are no coincidences when it comes to God. I just want you to know that right now. It's not a coincidence that there's mockers and scoffers over those who are having dreams and visions. I believe when the rapture does take place, that's when we're probably going to see a huge falling away from faith. Because people are going to say, well, why didn't I go? I was a Christian. Yes, but you were lukewarm in your faith. And I'm sure there's going to be a lot of other reasons why there's a falling away in faith, especially when it comes to the mark of the beast. I believe people are going to, not really be able to control their emotions. I think they're going to become puppets. I just bring up these points because they've kind of been on my mind the past couple of days, and I wrote them down today. And like I said, I didn't plan on making a video, but I really wanted to share these thoughts with you and how crazy it is that we're seeing all this happen, especially closer and closer together within a couple months. It started a couple months ago, really, with a lot of these things getting closer and closer together. The earthquakes and volcanoes, the tsunamis, all these things. And then, that dream that I shared with you from my friend. And I've still been praying for dreams and confirmations too. And if I get them, I will sure let you know. But I did have a dream the other day about a lot of UFOs in the sky. And it was a pretty vivid dream. I'm not sure if it was a dream from God. That's why I'm not going to sit here and talk about it. But it was kind of interesting. And I can definitely see that happening when the church is gone. But for those of you who do have dreams, I really encourage you to go on YouTube and share it. I don't know how to edit videos. I don't know how to do any of this. I'm uploading them from my camera roll because I just feel the urgency to talk about it, to share it with you guys. So please, go and share your dreams. That is the whole reason why I am sharing what I'm sharing with you guys now. That's the whole reason I've been posting these videos, is because I've been seeing the influx of people talking about it, and I figured, well, you know what, if everybody else is posting about it, Maybe this is my sign to post about it. So this is your sign right now. If you're having dreams, if you're having visions, if you're hearing from God, please share it. Let there be as many confirmations as there can be. Like I said, there's still going to be mockers and scoffers, but educate them. You know, we don't have to simply deny people. Just today, I was talking to my boss at work, and I actually pulled out a whiteboard because he was mocking me the other day, like, oh, is the rapture coming to get you? And in my mind, I'm thinking, I sure hope so. I hope I'm gone. I don't want to be left behind. But today I actually pulled out a whiteboard and I showed him the math regarding it, all the instances that are happening right now. And afterwards he was left speechless. He didn't really have anything to say. He was just like, wow, good job, like, for showing me that. If people are going to sit there and mock you, just show them the facts. The math is highly accurate. The birthing pains, we're seeing it every single day. So please share your testimony. There's going to be several people out there, you know, who want to hear it. I didn't think anybody would really want to hear about what I had to say, but looking back, seeing that my first video has 6,000 views, and I can't even believe it. I couldn't physically imagine 6,000 people in front of me right now. Share your dreams, guys. I've got a train coming through, but take care, God bless, and I'll see you next time.
Is it possible to know the day of the Messiah's return?
Wait a minute, didn't Yeshua tell his disciples not even to bother with this?
He said no one knows the day or the hour.
But he told them to be ready, and he gave them signs, didn't he?
We don't know the day or the hour because God has set this holiday on a lunar day that's hard to track. Even the rabbis are unsure on which day it starts. And finally, they obscured the date with a false holiday. So in a beautiful stroke of irony, the uncertainty of our view actually lends more weight to this theory being true.